The Appalachian Trail is one of the oldest and longest hiking trails in the world, stretching over 2,190 miles. From Georgia to Maine. While most people hike the trail for its natural beauty and peaceful solitude, there are some unsettling stories that make it seem like a nightmare. From hikers going missing to strange occurrences in the middle of nowhere. These are 10 scary things that have happened on the Appalachian Trail. Number 10. The disappearance of Gerald and Ellen. In 2013, a couple named Gerald and Ellen set out to through hike the Appalachian Trail. They had trained for months and were excited to start their journey. But just 2 weeks into the hike, they vanished, without a trace. Despite an extensive search and rescue operation, no sign of the couple or their bodies has ever been found. Some believe they may have gotten lost or injured and are still out there somewhere. Others believe they may have been the victims of foul play. What happened to them remains a mystery to this day. No. 9. The Beartooth Wilderness. In the early 1990s, a hiker named Amy was backpacking through the Beartooth Wilderness area when she stumbled upon something she couldn't believe. A small cabin in the middle of the forest. She cautiously approached the cabin and peered through a window. Inside, she saw what appeared to be a human figure sitting in a chair. Startled, she quickly backed away and ran to find help. When authorities investigated, they discovered that the figure in the chair was nothing more than a mannequin. Still, it was enough to give Amy and other hikers something to be wary of in the woods. Number 8. Mysterious voices. Hikers have reported hearing strange voices and whispers in the woods while on the Appalachian Trail. Some have even claimed to hear singing or drumming coming from the trees. While there are many who believe these sounds are simply the result of an overactive imagination, others believe they may be the work of something more sinister. Could there be malevolent spirits lurking in the woods, waiting to lure unsuspecting hikers off the trail? Or are the sounds simply a figment of a hiker's imagination? Number 7. The hitchhiker. In 2016, a young woman named Julia was hitchhiking along the side of a busy road near the Appalachian Trail. When she caught the attention of a passing motorist, the driver offered her a ride, but Julia declined. However, the driver insisted, and soon she found herself in the car with a stranger. As they drove along, the driver began to act strangely, making sudden movements and stopping the car in strange places. Julia became increasingly fearful and eventually jumped out of the car and ran into the woods. She managed to escape the driver and find safety. But the experience left her shaken and wondering why the driver had tried to abduct her. Number 6. Strange lights. In recent years, hikers have reported seeing strange lights in the sky while on the Appalachian Trail. Some have described them as bright orbs floating above the tree line, while others have seen what appear to be large, brightly lit objects hovering nearby. While there are many who believe these sightings are simply the result of misidentification or a play of light and shadow, others believe they could be evidence of something more. Are these strange lights visitors from another world or something else entirely? Number 5. Shadow people. Many hikers have reported seeing mysterious shadow figures while on the Appalachian Trail. These shadowy figures seem to appear out of nowhere and vanish just as quickly. Some hikers believe they may be the ghosts of hikers who have died on the trail, while others believe they could be something more sinister. Could there be malevolent spirits lurking in the woods, watching hikers and preying on their fears? Number 4. The ghost of Sinking Creek Gap. According to legend, the ghost of a hiker named Isaac Ward can be seen wandering around Sinking Creek Gap. Isaac died in 1924 after falling off a cliff while hiking the trail. Since then, hikers have reported seeing his ghost and hearing his screams in the night. While some dismiss these sightings as mere superstition, others believe that Isaac's spirit is forever trapped on the trail. No. 3. The gruesome discovery. In 2014, a group of hikers came across a gruesome scene while hiking the Appalachian Trail. They discovered the skeletal remains of a hiker who had been missing for several years. The discovery was both shocking and eerie, as the hiker's identity was never discovered and the cause of his death was never determined. It's a grim reminder of the dangers that can lurk in the woods, even years after a tragedy occurs. Number 2. Unmarked graves. There are several unmarked graves along the Appalachian Trail, each with its own story of tragedy. Some of the graves belong to hikers who died on the trail, while others belong to Native Americans who lived in the area centuries ago. The graves are a somber reminder of the history of the trail and the dangers that have always lurked in the woods. Number 1. The fog. The thick fog that often rolls in over the Appalachian Mountains can be disorienting and dangerous. It can obscure the trail, making it difficult or impossible to find one's way. And it can also muffle the sound of approaching danger, such as a wild animal or even a human attacker. Some hikers have reported experiencing a strange sense of dread or fear while hiking in the fog, as if they are being watched or stalked by something unseen. Could there be something lurking in the mist that preys on the fears of hikers? Or is it all just a trick of the mind? The Appalachian Trail is a place of great beauty, but it's also a place of mystery and danger. From the eerie to the unexplained, these are just a few of the unsettling things that have happened on the Appalachian Trail. So if you ever decide to hike the trail yourself, be sure to keep your wits about you. You never know what you might encounter in the woods. From the howling woods to the shadow of the pines, there are some places on Earth that we should never go alone. The Appalachian Trail is one such place. For centuries, it has beckoned travelers with its promise of adventure and tranquility amidst nature. But lurking beneath its scenic beauty lies an unsettling truth. Those who have journeyed through these woods tell tales of strange occurrences and eerie encounters that challenge our understanding of the natural world. In this video, we will explore unsettling stories from the Appalachian Trail that will leave you questioning the boundaries between reality and nightmare. Each tale is rooted in the real-life experiences of those who have dared to venture into the heart of these ancient woods. So grab a flashlight, hold on tight, and prepare to be captivated by these spine-chilling narratives that will make you never want to enter the forest again. A hiker's worst nightmare. The forest was once again plunged into darkness. Only this time, it wasn't just any ordinary night. It was July 28, 1986. A full moon hung ominously in the night sky, casting long, eerie shadows through the trees. For 17-year-old Daniel J. Green, the isolation of the trail under the cloak of darkness was both daunting and exhilarating. He had set out from the Springer Mountain, Georgia, just 3 days earlier with dreams of reaching Katahdin, Maine, completing the nearly 2,200-mile trek. But now, as he made his way through the unforgiving terrain of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, reality was beginning to sink in. The Appalachian Trail is a grueling test of endurance, both physical and mental, and as Daniel pressed on, he knew that what lay ahead was far more than just a hike. The solitude of the trail can be a humbling experience, a chance to disconnect from the noise of modern life and reconnect with something deeper. But for some, the quiet can be deafening. The silence was broken only by the sound of his own footsteps and the occasional rustle of an unseen creature in the underbrush. It was then that he heard it, a sound that would haunt his nightmares for years to come. As he rounded a bend in the trail, he saw it, a small clearing bathed in the silver glow of the moonlight. But it was what he saw next that sent a chill down his spine. There in the middle of the clearing stood a crude wooden stake, and at its base was a pile of what looked like ashes. In an instant, his mind raced, conjuring images of sinister rituals and forgotten lore. What could this mean? Who had been here before him and why? The unease that had been simmering within him suddenly boiled over. Adrenaline surged through his veins, his heart pounding against his ribs like a frantic bird. Fear, raw and primal, threatened to consume him. Suddenly, a twig snapped behind him. He whirled around, his eyes frantically searching the darkness. There, barely discernible in the gloom, stood a tall, gaunt figure. Daniel froze, his breath catching in his throat. The figure emerged from the shadows, and as it drew closer, Daniel's worst fears were confirmed. It was a man, or rather, what appeared to be a man, his face obscured by a wide-brimmed hat, his body shrouded in a long, dark coat. But it was the glint in his eye that truly terrified him. It was a look that spoke of madness and malevolence, a chilling testament to the darkness that can lurk in the most unsuspecting places. But what really happened to the young hiker? Did he manage to escape the clutches of the nefarious man in the woods? Or did he become another unsettling mystery of the Appalachian Trail? The story serves as a haunting reminder that sometimes the greatest horrors are not the ones we can see, but the ones that dwell in the darkest corners of our minds. The hiker who stumbled upon a horrifying scene, a lone hiker named Matthew Monroe, found himself captivated by the allure of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. As he ventured deeper into the park, he realized that he was not alone. He began to notice strange occurrences that sent shivers down his spine. Unexplainable whispers seemed to follow him through the ancient trees, and the feeling of being watched intensified with every step he took. Determined to push on, Matthew pressed forward until he reached an area known as the Devil's Courthouse, a place steeped in local legend and folklore. As he made his way through the dense underbrush, he noticed something that made him stop in his tracks. There before him was a sight that challenged the boundaries of reality. A pentagram had been carved into the bark of a towering tree, its 5 points reaching towards the sky like grasping claws. Around its base were scattered items that sent a chill down Matthew's spine. A rusted meat cleaver, animal bones, and strange symbols that he couldn't decipher. Overcome with a sense of dread, Matthew turned to flee, but the forest seemed to have transformed into a labyrinth. The trees twisted and gnarled, forming an oppressive canopy overhead that blocked out the sun. Panic began to set in as he realized that he had become trapped. Just when his hope began to dwindle, he spotted a faint glimmer of light in the distance. With renewed determination, he stumbled towards it, desperate for a way out of this terrifying ordeal. And then he saw it, a cabin nestled in a small clearing. Relief washed over him as he approached, believing that he had found salvation. But as he drew closer, the idyllic facade of the cabin began to crumble. The windows were boarded up, the door hanging precariously from its hinges. It looked as though it had been abandoned long ago. But there was something else, something that made the hairs on the back of his neck stand on end. Scrawled on the wall above the door was a single chilling message: "Leave while you still can." What awaited Matthew beyond the confines of the cabin? Did he heed the warning and escape the clutches of the forest's evil? or did he succumb to the darkness that had ensnared him? The fate of the lone hiker remains a haunting mystery, a chilling tale whispered among those who dare to venture into the heart of the woods. For more terrifying stories from the Appalachian Trail, stay tuned. The Appalachian Trail is a network of hiking trails in the United States that extends from Georgia to Maine. It stretches for more than 2,100 miles through 14 states. This trail is very popular with over 3 million visitors every year. Most people hike just a portion of it, but through hiking the whole thing is a badge of honor among outdoor enthusiasts. Through hiking the entire trail can take months, but for the most part, the trail is safe. Sure, there are bears and the occasional mountain lion, but most hikers make it through without incident. That is, without incident? Until you reach the mysterious area known as the Dark Divide. This area of the trail is known for being particularly dangerous. Some say it's haunted and others claim strange things happen to them when they pass through this area. What exactly is going on here? Today, we're going to recount 3 creepy real-life encounters on the Appalachian Trail. So grab your backpack and get ready for a night in the woods. Just remember, if you hear any strange noises out in the forest, don't investigate. Our first story comes from a hiker named Ryan Jordan. In 2019, Jordan was backpacking through the Dark Divide with his girlfriend when he claims they encountered something extremely strange. He said, "We were probably 30 to 45 minutes into our hike and the skies began to darken. The wind picked up and the temperature dropped dramatically. We could hear what sounded like screams in the forest, but we couldn't see anything. We continued on the hike. But then we started seeing some weird things. There were 10 or so, 50 to 100-pound bolts stacked up on top of each other, and there was a perfect imprint of a hand in one of the rocks, like someone had pressed their hand into wet concrete. My girlfriend and I peed out of there, and we haven't been back since." Now, some have speculated that the mysterious force that lurks in the forest may have actually been a group of mountain lions. After all, the area is known for having a high concentration of cougars. However, it seems unlikely that a mountain lion would behave in such a way. They typically avoid humans at all costs. If anything, they'll try to sneak up on you and try to ambush you. They wouldn't announce their presence with a bunch of roaring. So what exactly was this couple running away from? Our next story comes from a man who goes by the name Wayno. While hiking through the Dark Divide, he and his 2 friends set up camp for the night. They made a campfire and cooked some dinner and then settled down to sleep. But around 3 a.m., they were awoken in their tent to what sounded like screams in the forest. They unzipped the tent to a creepily foggy forest and hiked out of there as fast as they could. Wayno later recounted the experience, saying, "There was no lightning or thunder. It was just these blood-curdling screams. To this day, I don't know what was out there. But whatever it was, it scared the hell out of me." Our final story comes from a man named David. While hiking through the same area, he heard what sounded like chains dragging metal moans. At first, he thought that it might be a bear. But then, he noticed that the sound seemed to be coming from above him. He looked up and saw a dark humanoid shape descending from tree to tree. It moved with unnatural agility and speed. It was gone after a few minutes, but David was left shaken by the experience. Could these stories possibly be true? Is there really something lurking in the woods of the Appalachian Trail? Or are these just over-imaginative hikers who let their fears get the best of them? We'll let you decide. Have you ever seen anything strange or supernatural while hiking? Let us know in the comments below. And remember, if you enjoyed this video, stay tuned for more content like this. Thanks for watching.